Alright guys, and here we go, match 1, game 1. I would like to be on the play. Uh, hmm. I think this hand is pretty good. It's not the best hand, but we do have some removal, we do have the Mox, and we do have that champion, so let's go ahead and keep this. This might be a little slow versus combo, but if this is like a Delver deck, I think this should be fine. So let's just go ahead and let's go Dark Steel, Mox Opal, Signal Pest, pass turn. Not the greatest start, but if they play a Dork, I can burn it on turn 1, or if they play a Delver. So that seems like a pretty good plan to me. And the next turn we can play our Etch Champion. And if we draw... Okay, so it looks like burn. Nope, it's Delver. That's fine, though. If that's how my opponent's turn 1 was spent, I think we're in good shape. As he will have a very hard time dealing with this Etch Champion. So next turn we'll go Blink Moth Nexus. Oh, actually, we cannot... We have to draw another artifact. I should have thought of that. As now Mox Opal is offline. My mistake, but I think we can recover. Also, I'm glad to know that we are up against Delver. So this might change things a little. Next turn I'll probably play my Glimmer Void. My opponent must be contemplating their next couple of turns here. My opponent has disconnected. I will pause this for now until my opponent comes back. Alright, my opponent is back. Come on, 0 drop. Or another Darksteel. Oh, perfect. Welding Jar. So now I think I'll go ahead and play my Blink Moth. Play my Etched. So yeah, this guy's going to be hard to get rid of now. My opponent would have had to have a counterspell that turn. So, Welding Jar, maybe not the best 0 drop I could have drawn, but a 0 drop nonetheless, so I'm pleased with that. The next turn I might be able to swing with this even. Although I probably won't, because I don't want to run it out into some removal. Probably just going to be swinging with my Etched. A fetch land for my opponent, no doubt going to fetch an island of some sort. My opponent has a Delver. I think I'll go ahead and get rid of that. Well, my opponent cannot deal with me. Or deal with my removal, I should say. Plus, I think it's good to get aggressive on the Delvers. Then I'll be conservative and just swing for 2 here. I'll go ahead and keep Ornithopter back because there's no real reason to play it currently. My opponent Thought Scours. And hopefully misses a land drop here. I'd be very pleased with that. Nope. Another Delver, perhaps? With a Thought Scour. So it looks like setting up for a pretty big treasure cruise here. Hopefully a Cranial Plating. Arcbound is fine. And while he is tapped out, I'll go ahead and play my Arcbound. Well, not tapped out, but while he does not have any access to blue mana here. And now I can go ahead and play the Ornithopter. I'll just swing for 2 here. I still don't really want to be set back a man land. Well, I guess I could stack it to the Arcbound, but I think that's a fine play. So now I'm expecting my opponent will Treasure Cruise. So they've gotten rid of a Lightning Bolt, a Young Pyromancer, a Gitaxian Probe. This might be a Young Pyro here, or maybe a Bolt. But if he bolts something, I will just Welding Jar. Like if it's Ornithopter, I'll stack to Arcbound, but if it's the Arcbound, I think this turn, I'll just go ahead and regenerate him. Yeah. He's doing 2 damage there. Let's just go ahead and regenerate Arcbound. Go ahead and cash that in. As that leaves us free to swing with our Blinkmoth next turn, if he does not have another removal spell. And since he did not play another red mana first, he won't be able to go over the top here. So I think that was a fine play. And now he could Vapor Snag it, but the regeneration's already done its magic. Well, this is a Treasure Cruise. So my opponent hasn't done anything very proactive this game, but to be honest, like, I haven't done a whole lot either. Like, my opponent has a lot of time to catch up here, but I've developed my board state a lot. And my opponent, unless they draw a mountain, will not be able to bolt one of my guys next turn. And hopefully I'll top deck something that's not a mana source. So my opponent did get a mountain, which means I do not think I'll animate my Blinkmoth. Perhaps my opponent has drawn a Bolt. No, it's a Swift Spear, so this turn I guess I can activate my Blinkmoth. My opponent does not have access to red mana. I think I just take 1 here. I don't want to risk losing my Ornithopter quite yet. And if my opponent has a Prowess trigger here, I think I'm comfortable taking 2. Yep, that's a Vapor Snag targeting the Arcbound. That's fine with me. As I believe I'm still quite capable of racing my opponent. Another Signal Pest helps me do that. So in that case, I'll play the Arcbound and the Signal Pest, and then just attack for 2. As that will become a threat that my opponent must answer. Alright, a Delver. So after board's definitely gonna bring in my Whip Flare. Come on, Cranial. Another Arcbound is not bad. Go ahead and animate here. Swing with the team. I think I'm perfectly capable of racing my opponent right now. Yeah, I'm attacking my opponent for 9 damage here. Or is it 8? Yeah, I think it's 8. And then second main, let's go ahead and just play the other Arcbound. If it gets countered, then I've wasted one of my opponent. Alright, no counter. So 2 Arcbounds out is pretty dangerous. And I think next turn we'll be able to get the win. So let's see if Delver flips. Delver has flipped. Remand has entered the revealed zone, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. I have nothing to remand. Alright, my opponent decides to pack it in. So what gets good here? I would say definitely Spellskite, definitely Whip Flare, maybe Master of Ethereum. What gets bad? Don't need the island since my opponent's not playing Path, so I'll cut him in might as well. It seems to me that Insole is not great here, as most of my targets will be my creatures, but maybe it's actually Signal Pest. Because Signal Pest gets pulled so easily, and I can put these on my non-artifacts. Let's just go ahead and cut the Signal Pests, and we'll see how that does. Signal Pest can't get past Delver anyway, so that might be the correct choice. I'll see you guys in the next game.